spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition.
Drama, he says. Absolute drama. Right, let's get this started, shall we, lads? Right, okay, this is what you've all been waiting for here. Congratulations, it's the Hooligan Finals before going into the playoffs of Season 10 of the NATTS. Greatest leagues in the world here. Well, at least it's up there. Okay, it's top 3. They're working on it. So, as you can see, through craziness, nothingness, and just about every other piss thing that's been done, well, here you are. Let's get it started. And the Dwarves are already moving into position here to try and cover this one. And also our final result. Look, it's a high kick. Wonderful. Well, let's see what these buggers can actually do with this ball, can they? This should be good. Well, that's how the supporters feel about this one. Turn it around. Dwarves are starting off. Agents of Dwarf have made it in. They've got themselves the fame. Don't know why they're cheering for them. They've got themselves spare drink. They've even brought in a bribe and 3 rerolls. The Ogres, it's just going to prove just they belong here because this is a Hooligan Division any given Sunday. And it's not Hooligan unless you've got Ogres. So, Dwarfs. As you saw on the broadcast here, how did this team get back here? Misclicks, luck. Well, they're here, so now they need to prove they belong. That's going to be quite the calling, isn't it? As for the Ogres, as I said, it's by sheer fluke they actually managed to get in just the right timing. And here they are, trying to show they absolutely belong. Oh, there's a beautiful, beautiful hit right off the bat. Now, the supporters are furious at that one, as you can hear already. But for the Dwarves, that's a great start. First clobber, don't this up, and he's got an injury right off the bat. So, Ogres, they've got to get back to work. Well, it's a stun, which they consider a bloody waste of time, but as they'd say, it's a start. They've moved one player's deep into position here. Typical Dwarf, they're trying to go in here, going after the Snotlings early. Well, the Ogres, of course, can break this cage, missile the cage, or quite frankly, punch them down. So they're in position, moving in here, try and contain this Dwarven advance. The Dwarves now, they've got to, in this game, score early. And they've got to keep on scoring. And it's a solid blitz down of the offending player. And Ogres decide they're going to do some more screening up. And now where are they going to go with the lovely Snotlings? Who have they benched today? Well, they've got 3 on the bench. Something very remarkable for this Ogre team. Finally, they've got spare players. Well, there you go, stomping in.
That wasn't a bit nice.
Well, doesn't matter from the Snotlings' viewpoint there, and clearly he's forgotten to, put his cleats back on before he fouls. Guess the bug is a little bit too polite. Well, you can see the gesturing from the couch of none of that. Miracle pass play by the Dwarves, and they're already on their way. And you can see, not 1-2, go for it. He's well away, and it looks like for the Dwarves, this is going to be a very quick score. And he fails the quick dodge. And it leaves the dweebs, the Dwarves. Call them dweebs. You call them dweebs. Well, back to punching. And there they go. It's a quick stun. But now, what's the rest of the team going to actually do about this one there? And here we go. They're moving in. Well, it looks like the Ogre's plan is, well, let's start actually putting some damage in if they can. No, that's still not working. Push me, push you. It looks like the Dwarves are well and truly getting away with a bad turn. Well, he does send in at least one scrambling Snotling here to see if he can somewhat keep them on. It's first bonehead by the Ogres. Well, he's not going to decide to re-roll that one there. Another solid... Well, it's a smack to the face. I don't know what he's doing with that one there. And, of course, double fails the dodge. Off he goes. And so much for that great idea. Everything seems to be going Dwarf once again here. Taking advantage of the bonehead, the Dwarves re-maneuver themselves into a far better punch-down position. And you can see here the Dwarves decided, well, this is going to be a sure thing. Let's just wait, because it's only a Snotling. And the Dwarves have decided to pour more damage in. As we mentioned, the Dwarves have got something to prove at this one here. They're trying to prove that they earned that tie, let alone anything else going here. So, yeah, can have see some solid fighting here from the Dwarves. Solid punch. Ah, he's got him. It's through the armor. Fortunately, he's only just stunned.
Holy alphabet.
And the Ogres, well, you can see it looks like it's going to be a plague of boneheads already. What are they going to do about this one? This is definitely not anywhere according to plans here. It looks like... What exactly are the Ogres doing here? Well, they've got a plan. I didn't exactly say it was a good plan, but it's definitely a plan. Well, good job there, lad. You actually got one. That's not something you don't actually suit you every day. 2 dice from a Snotling on a Dwarf. And I do believe the Ogres are off. They're actually going to try and tie this one up. Well, at least, you know, tie him up some way. And he comes. It's a blitz from across the field. He makes the whole way. Has to re-roll that one, but does get the re-roll.
Holy ball and chain.
And he's through. And he even gets a stun. And he has managed to mark up the Dwarf. That's a cunning idea, because remember, extra Snotlings do not count for tackle zones. But as you can see, the Dwarves, well, they've stuck that one in. Boy, have they ever stuck that one in.
Hey, phrasing!
Fine, I won't say that. And there we are, quickly on the board. Dwarves up 1-0. Let's turn this round here. So the Dwarves have come up, as mentioned here, pretty strong. They even do have one reserve. They are looking pretty confident. Ogre's early injury have had to apothecary, but from their viewpoint, well, it's time to start paying something back here. They've got a good solid 5 turns to march down the field. And as the Ogres have shown during these playoffs, they've had to find new and innovative ways of how to score the ball. They've not been relying on the Snotlings. As you've seen, they've now discovered something interesting. That's right, Ogres can actually kick the ball. And there we go. It's another interesting eye kick.
You know, Rock, he sure got some funny ideas about fun.
Well, we'll see what they actually do about this one. What madness is this? Yep, you can see it. He's moved the Snotling all the way up to the front. And he drops the ball. But, well, Constable Ed, well, he's decided, you know, we'll call that a touchback. Let's give the ball to this lad. That can work out pretty well. Because, yeah, that's the Miracle lad. And here we get going. Dwarves are starting very quickly here. Destroy and resist the punishment. The Ogres, meanwhile, once we pan up, as you can see, it's time for a good call. Pounding away here on the front line. Dwarves not too worried about this one here. And once again, that armour is nigh bloody invulnerable. What's that brave lad doing? He's crazy, but he's done it. Here they come. There's the throw. It's a horrible landing. Does he want to try that again? Yes, he's down. He's absolutely down. And he's in.
Holy heart failure!
And you can hear it. The crowd's absolutely going wild. Right, we've got to take control of this broadcast here, so let's get back in there and let's see how crazyable this one actually gets here. Dwarves did not see that one coming. Howitzer down, and it's quickly 1-1. Well, Dwarves are going to have to really rethink their play there, because let's face it, if the Ogres can do that all bloody day, you've got a problem. And it goes, solid kick. Where's this one going? Once again, Dwarf getting into position there. Good use of a skill on a runner there. And well, you can see it there. It's Golden Pantaloons time. Oh boy, this is going to make things absolutely fun here. Great times.
Stop that! It's silly.
Well, we don't care because, well, Constable Ed, if he's going to cast this one here and put up with the nonsense he heard from the last few games, and he got quite sick of those ones, he wants to see a good solid payment up front before this one gets absolutely crazy. Dwarves moving in. Can they do it again? There's the Dauntless, there's the solid punch. Does he get this one? Well, he's down, does not pile on because, well, he hasn't gotten that skill. As noted, this Dwarf team has suffered quite a long road getting here to try and build up those particular skills. Scanning through it here, as you can see, they have finally started getting a few skills here and there, but they would consider themselves rather underpowered. Well, as many have said, in Nuffle they trust. That's how they're going to play it. That's how they're going to do it. And it's turn 5 here. Ogres, well, I've had enough of this slot. It's time for push me, push you. As you can see here, Ogres trying to get themselves developed into a much better position. There's a solid punch down, finally, and now on the flank here. Can you do that one more time? Yeah, it's Tiddle's time for that Dwarf. Well, they've got all kinds of crazy options here. And you can see, so far, Ogres have decided, well, they're going to change the position up into a more conservative setup and wait to see what happens. Dwarves, of course, would like to score again quickly because, as they've seen, the Ogres, they just need the one turn. And it's an easy score. Failed blitz bonehead on the flank there. Oh, here comes the strapping lad. He's decided, you know, he sees an open player. It's time to go play trampoline time. And, well, that didn't work either.
Yes, well, that's the sort of blinkered, Philistine, pig ignorance I've come to expect from you non-creative garbage.
Well, don't blame me. It's strike frankly the best thing the Snarlings can do. In this case, he's got a bribe. Might as well use it. Meanwhile, Dwarves decide, well, let's actually show you what we can do to a poor innocent Snarling. There you go. Down goes that poor man as that Slayer takes him easily down. Yeah, well, we saw how well that worked. It's a KO. It's kind of, not what the dwarf wanted. Like an injury. He had +2 to the injury roll. Still fails. All he gets is a KO. Yes, you can look at the rolls. It took him the Monty Bow, the break, and the stunt he got him into the KO department. Fine. Be nitpicky. Speaking of nitpicks, the Ogres, well, they like to, show them what these dwarves, what their insides look like. There's a solid punch on the flank. And he's got him. He's got him.
Help! I'm being repressed!
Well, he can complain all he wants. Early use of the apothecary by the dwarves. Yeah, don't blame him. It's the Troll Slayer. He's got to bring him back because he needs the Dauntless. Well, did you buy a second apothecary? No, you didn't, lad. In fact, because of the golden pantaloons, the dwarves, you've got it. They're sitting on 2 bribes. Push me, push you. Well, the Ogres, they've had enough of this rot. Bringing up another key snotling here. Can they do 3 dice? Oh, they love to do 3 dice, in fact. Bob's your uncle. Down goes that lad. Finally, the blitz does work. He decides to peel away here and actually go after the straggling player. Oh, he got him too. And down he goes. Oh, you can see what's coming in here. And he's bringing the other snotling back. A couple of quick trampoline times. Can he get...
Don't hold my own strength.
Well, he stunned him. And of course, Constable Ed is too busy counting the coins. Constable Ed did promise a fair game. And his view is, if the dwarves are going to be using bribes, then damn it, the Ogres can foul all they bloody want. I didn't say it made perfect sense. That's just his view of what a fair game is. Troll Slayer, once again, solid punching. And does finally get away. And you can see here, the dwarves, they've actually got a problem. Their eligible receiver is down on the play. Are they going to move further in for an eligible receiver? Right, let's pause this up and take a look here. I've got a question. I see you're trying to get in there for an early score. It's 10-7. Your eligible receiver's down. I get that. So who's filling the position? He can't reach. This is the plan. He can't reach either. How about this one? So here's my question here to the dwarves. If you're going to do that, well, you need an ultra receiver. You need to move him 2 more squares at least, or something. That's why that foul went through. All right, back to the cast here. Ogres, they're not done. More punching. The Ogres, as you can see, and yes, this is actually an interesting insight, the wise Ogres have figured out this rather quickly. They don't care. You can't score, so why bother? Well, they do try to get up, because they can see what's sitting there, and Constable Ed's, for his wife, collection of gifts, and they're going to get back to punching. Well, that's been pretty good.
Ah, yes, his head's been ripped off. I'll get you another.
And the Snotlings bringing it. Oh, you can see what's setting up here. They really don't care. And he goes again. Well, he's stunned. The dwarves actually might want to do something about this, considering which player this is. This is your Blanche AG4. He's wide open, and they figured out, if you're not threatening to score, well, that's the job now, isn't it? Now you can see the dwarves here. Well, they're getting into the fouling themselves here. And he's stunned. Crowd was not happy about that one. Dauntless does fail. He does get away with it though. Second, he gets the Dauntless this time, and again, it's only push me, push you. Dwarves decide turn 8, you might as well spend the reroll, and down goes the lad. Alright, what are the rest of your dwarves going to do now? At this point here, you can only, look, you're not the Black Garbo, and there you go, 2 dice uphill, and straight into a welcoming fist. Right. Ogres. Well, if you're going to have Bonehead, it's going to be on this turn because it's not an essential turn. And there's 2. I think someone told the Ogres it's time to consult fights now because it's not important. Oh, look at this now. And there's 3 Boneheads. You know, if the Ogres could have picked a perfect turn for it, this is it. Great. Constable calls that one.
Oh my god, I am surrounded by idiots.
Well, I hate to say it, the Dwarves get really lucky on that one. That much, and all he gets is a stun. And he even gets his 1 KO back. Ah, that's Blood Bowl for you. And of course, this last halftime show was, of course, brought to you by Dick's Pizza, because you haven't eaten pizza until you've eaten Dick's. Dwarves starting off the second half. There's a quick kick down the field. And, well, there we go.
Let's talk and more action.
Oh, fine. Shut your face, then. Okay, the action is on. Ogres, second half. Start with the ball here. The ball, I give credit to the Dwarves. It's a fantastic onside kick. This is going to be a bit of a challenge for the great old Hooligans here. And, well, there you go. Solid hit, front line. Can you do that twice? Now it's a push me, push you. And the Dwarves rather wisely do accept they are getting pushed back. He could stand firm, not this time. More frontline action continuing. Here's another solid punch. And the Ogres' Boneheads continue. It has not been a perfect game by far for the Ogres. They are out the extra bribe, but as you can see, 4 rerolls to start this half. It's kind of a dream for the Ogres. As we've seen this team, if they're given lots and lots of rerolls, boy can they perform magic. Here come the Ogres. He's gambling on it. 2 dice blitz away. Does get the solid hit, but can he get a result out of it? Well, the lad's down, and he's going to cover up the rest of the Snotlings just to keep them in the game. And now here comes the Magnificence. And he's got it. And now you're seeing the adjustment the Dwarf coach has to do after that first play and scored by the Ogres. Normally, Dwarf team would absolutely get stuck in here and put all the pressure in. They can't do it. Because they know if they don't quite pull it off, any given Ogre can just get in there, but particularly anyone with strong arm, and you can see what he's been moving it around. Either pass or strong arm. He's got the pass right here. Strong arm's tied up over here. All he has to do is out to the Snotling and he's gone. 2 dice. Gets the block. Comes screening back. This is absolutely crazy. Look at how far back the Dwarves have to move their screen to try and deal with this. Ogres, once again, bonehead early. And again, yet another bonehead. It's just becoming one of those crazy games. And then he even pulls it in with a double skull. What else can possibly go wrong here? Well, here come the rest of the Snotlings. Well, they're going to have to completely change their setup here. As well, let's face it, that's a lot of boneheads. And for those of you keeping track, the boneheads, he's way off his curve as normally. Normally 1 in 6, he's performing as so far the chart shows 1 in 4 so far at this point. But the game is tied 1-1. Manages to activate the player. Does he want to do anything? Nope. Instead, he's going to do the blitz over here. Solid punch, he's got him. And down he goes. Well, that will slow the Troll Slayers down for a wee bit. And now he's daring to live the dream. Dwarves. Do you really want this to go to overtime? Well, he's got plenty of things sitting over here waiting for exactly that situation. Solid punch down. Down goes the Ogre. And now, it looks like this is it. The Dwarves have decided they're going to blitz in here. Down goes the sprightly little fellow, but he sacrifices himself, hanging onto his fist until the last second to flop down on the ground. And that buys enough time to save, if you heard this right, a snotling cage and keep the ball dreams alive. Ogres. Well, they've got a solution, and the solution is strong fisting. And he's off. And he's gone. He's KO'd. You got lucky on that one. And suddenly the Ogres are punishing the Dwarves, and this is a strange thing. There's normally, I'd say, Ogres' biggest problem, lack of mobility. This is the one team, they're faster, and they're about to demonstrate it. This commitment on this one side, he's gone. No, really, this bugger's gone, and now you just discovered, yeah, he's got short feet too, and a movement increase. Look how far he went. Bonehead on the flank once again, so it's push me, push you over here. Or push me and piss off. Either works. Now, what do the rest of the Snotlings want to do? You got it, he's gone. Just to piss off the Dwarves even further. There goes another one, he's gone. And would you like to make it 3 for 3? Yes, you would, and there he goes. Absolutely
You whining, hypocritical toadies!
What, they're Snotlings. What more do you want from them? Alright, so here we go. Dwarves, can you do anything about this?
Now it's your turn.
Coming back. Solid play going on here. It's push me, push you. Well, he moves the other dwarf in here. It looks like he's going to focus on the surf. Blows the Dauntless. Has to re-roll that one to even have a fighting chance. And funny enough, doesn't get the push he wants. Well, so much for that. And again, you've got 3 players committed you don't need over there. There's the ball. Son. You are seeing something very odd, and there it is, because you re-rolled that. There's your skull. Not today, says Nuffle. Not today. You've got to earn this one. And let's face it, it's called you've got to use rerolls when you really need them. Seems to be coming back to haunt them, this one here. Meanwhile, Ogres still sitting on 3. And taking their time with these ones here, and they're going to march this down the field. Yeah, you heard that right. It's a march down the field. And there's once again a big solid hit. Down goes the bugger. And now the Ogres can actually go in for, well, for lack of a better term, a couple of glory punches. Down goes this one. And there he goes, that lad. It looks like, can he? He's thinking about it. He's actually going to burn a turn off. Which is like actually a crazy idea, but you know what? It's worked so far, you might as well tape it up. Well, there that goes that one.
Turn it off! Turn it off!
And that is going to be critical. Troll Slayer out for the game. Boy, this is becoming one of those few times you look at that and go, why didn't you buy an extra apothecary? Might not have had enough money for it. That's possible. And the Dwarves. It's suddenly right into a double skull. Boy, when this one turns, it's starting to turn the other way here. And here comes a mad scramble trying to get back to the ball. Well, he's pretty clear here. Now, here's going to be the question the Ogres have. Do you want to burn this out one more turn? And you can see the Ogres are seriously thinking about it. Bringing back the other player. Well, he'll get back in the play. Maybe. And now you can see what the Ogres are thinking here. They're really seriously thinking, Can you tie this up for an extra turn? And there it goes, 2 more boneheads. This is just becoming absolutely just one of those games. You can't really predict how this one's going here. It's becoming almost typical Ogre. And there you go, 3 boneheads in the turn out of just 5. He finally decides he's just going to score that one. And that one is actually in.
What do we think of Tottenham? What do we think of shit? Thank you.
Okay, so the supporters are making their answer felt about that one, how they really feel. 2-1 Ogres. Of all things, the KO comes back. The Dwarves do recover. Now, this is the money drive indeed. It's turning around. 4 turns. Dwarf team are 100% capable of pulling this one off. They've got the players, they've got the 2 runners back, kickoff return, and of course they've got the star receiver. Let's see how he plays this one out. There's the kick. Kickoff return, he's going back. Does he actually get this one? Well, there's a gentle gust of wind. Well, let's see what he actually does about this one. Ball's going to go a little bit flying back this time. It's not bad. It's a good kick by the Ogres. It's way in the back. This is going to cause the Dwarves some consternation. As we've mentioned, speed, not the highest thing in this game. This is it. Everything the Dwarves have got, pouring in. They're going to do everything they can to tie up pretty much the entire Ogre team. They've got to. It's the best tactic they've got. Do they have the free available player? Nope, they've moved him over here. Because this is the plan. It's a solid hit, solid kick back. And he's got him.
What are you going to do, bleed on me?
That's it for the Dwarves. This is not over yet, lads. He's got 2 breakaway. Agility 3, agility 4. He's got the ball, and it's time to advance up the field. Nope, nothing's getting thrown yet. Let's take a look again at that weather. It's perfect. 2 red dice. I've got a question for you, lad. You really want to keep these players alive. 2 red dice. You got a push out of it. See, I see why you're doing it. It's the school of versus non-block 2 out of 3 times. However, are you sure you want to push him away? I'd rather keep him tied up, wouldn't you? Because he doesn't have break tackle. Is that the only mistake made? We'll see. In a game this crazy, you end up pointing those out, don't you? Well, there you go. Solid hit.
After you with the ball, sir.
Well, never mind. You don't need to worry about him all. He's boneheaded anyway. Wow. It's a plague of boneheads. It's amazing the Ogres have stayed in this game. But, well, it's the quality of the coaches when you get to this point. Here it is. And you see who he's targeted. It's a push. He'll take it. He keeps him 1 square further away. And now he's bringing in a couple of extra snotlings not to directly engage. It's a very light screen. What you expect from snotlings, but now here's going to be the question. Have the Dwarves watched the cast to figure out that means nothing? We'll see. Hyper aggression here. There's a big solid punch down there. Goes the Pearl Lad. And double 1 on the armor. It's a bloody miracle. 100% commitment by the Dwarves. Because they know how crazy this is. They can't leave a turn. They've got to score this on 16. They leave a turn. Ogres just have it to the ball right back down the field again. They've already demonstrated it once, and with 3 rerolls, he'll do it again. Dwarves marching down the field, protecting the... Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Try that again.
I don't think so, sucker.
He's made it. He's still advancing. There's the handoff. He makes the handoff, and there he goes. Decides one more square. Wow, this is going to come right down to teeth gritting wire, isn't it? Can the Dwarves get this one in? They've got the team, they've got the talent. Do they have the knuffle? Ogres concentrating fire. They do manage to get another Dwarf down, getting a little closer. Here comes the scramble of Snotlings. Scramble of Snotlings. And he fails the breaking dodge. He's going to try that again. Makes it. Okay, fine. I won't mention it. But it has gone wrong. And he parks a second Ogre into position there. Here come a couple more Snotlings moving in. And at this point here, that missing one Troll Slayer is devastating. What's he doing? He got him! He got him! 3 dice red! And he got him!
Do you want to come back to my place? Bouncy, bouncy.
And here comes the other lads. It's absolutely the craziest play you've seen, and it worked. The Dwarves, it's shock all through the Dwarf supporters stand. All their chanting has just died out. And they can't even get even a casualty or a KO, it's a stun. And here comes the Dauntless plowing through. Can he get an Ogre? Well, he's plowed the road, but he immediately fails the dodging through.
Boris, darling, you've done it again.
Turn 16. All the Ogres need to do is prevent anyone getting near this ball. There's one player who can do it. It's a disaster. And they're watching this carefully. Push me, push you. All they bloody need. Now the runner's going to be the only player who can do it. And he sees it. Oh, he's going to make sure that this one. Push me, push you. Finally, rerolls the bonehead, and he's going to park the other player on the ball. Can he make it any more impossible at this point there? Down he goes. Leading with chin. Turn 16. Is there anything the Dwarves can actually do about this one?
Does this answer your question?
Couldn't have said it better myself, Bugs. Couldn't have said it better myself. There you've got it. Final winner. 2-1. The Ogres triumph once again out of the Hooligan Division. And they are going to march on to the final 16. That's all here. A great hand for the team that never gave up. Agents of Dwarf. Just wasn't the day, was it, that day? Especially when it goes down that way. So, round of applause. The representatives are there. The supporters are behind you. And you've got the hero being paraded across the stadium. You want to put him down. He's got a game to play coming up. So let's see you all next week. Nuffle, bless your dice.